if anyone's there, can you let us know if you can hear us and see us?
Hi, everybody. Okay, so where do we even see it?
We need to make... Yeah, there we go. Veronica, we are live.
Hi, Veronica. So Veronica's in Germany. That's exciting. Hi. Okay, so thank you guys for joining us today. We are doing this because... Hi, Helen. Hi, Anne. We are doing this because we will often get a... hi, Joanne. Hi, Sammy. Okay,
All
people
right.
are here.
We are officially up and running.
Hi, Sarah. So yeah, we often get messages like, you know, do you guys have any tips on how to use a planner? Or this is my first time, like, you know, I just bought the planner, but I don't know what to do with it. And it can seem really overwhelming sometimes. So we just want to try and give you some tips and tricks, kind of walk you through it and just help you to not be intimidated by it, and how you can actually use this beautiful thing that you bought and realize that it's actually just not for beauty, but it really is helpful. Like, everything inside can really change your life. Like, not to be so dramatic, but it really can. It can really help you to focus on the things that you want for yourself, and it really can keep you accountable to achieve those things. So
I've got mine. One for the dusk.
And I use the tile. Yeah, so this is Dave's actual first Hello Day planner. You were using it a little bit last year.
Yeah, I was using half of a mid-year planner last year, but then this is my first brand new Hello Day planner. But
Dave actually only became full-time Hello Day person last March. February, March. Yeah. Last lockdown, basically. So anyway, we are excited to do this. We're excited to use our planners, and we're excited to show you guys how we use it. But also, we've been asking some of our customers, and people tell us throughout the year as well, like what they do and different ideas, which really helps. Oh, hi, Aunt Cassie. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I get really distracted seeing over here everyone that's, hi, guys. Hi, Vanessa. Hi, Mary.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. This is great.
Yeah, this is exciting. Sometimes you think, is anyone even going to show up? But we are recording this, so hopefully those of you guys, some people said they aren't even on Facebook, they're only on Instagram, so we'll be sending it to those people. Okay, so I also wanted to just give a shout out to my husband because I got a haircut today, and he did it.
Lockdown haircut, first ever time.
Desperate times, you guys. I just really needed it, and a lot came off, but it's so much healthier. So, and I cut his hair and he cut mine, so we are set.
Yes, but Kirsten's been cutting my hair since 2009 when we lived in Japan. So
yeah, we lived in Japan for a little bit, and then it was kind of hard to explain to people what you wanted, so then I just started cutting his hair. Anyway, yeah, so we feel all nice and fresh today. Okay, so we also realized when we were planning this that there is so much to talk about, and we're like, do you know what, we need to not go off into a million tangents, but we need to just talk about how to use the planner. And I think what we'll do is we'll have to do other lives or other type of videos where we're explaining more about other things, like more about focusing on just planning or, you know, different things like that. So today we really just want to help you on how to use your planner, but we are going to talk about planning and everything, but we have to minimize it. So is that where we're going to start, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like we're in a school presentation. Introduce yourself. And what I mean by that is, you buy the planner, you get so excited, you open it and it's a pretty box and you're like, oh, it's so gorgeous, you know, and you just love it. And then, but you need to get to know it. From that day, even though I feel like they're all my babies and we send them off and we get really nervous, are they gonna make it okay in the mail? It's yours, you open it, and you really need to get to know it. You really need to get to know it. So first suggestion, when I say introduce yourself, is to open it and look at every page. So go through it. Try and kind of understand how the beginning of the planner kind of feeds into the rest of the planner. Look in the middle. We also have like, middle...
like mid-year reflections.
Reflections was the word I'm looking for. And at the end of the planner, there's different pages as well. So I would say take your time and look through...
yes, it will be
yes,
posted,
it will
Louise.
be posted.
Yeah.
Yes, Louisa.
Yeah.
So look through all the pages, get to know the pages, because I can't tell you how many times someone might be using it for like over 6 months, and then they message me and they say, oh my gosh, I just realized that there's, whatever page. But if you really just take time to look through all the pages, like you'll it's like a revelation, like, oh wow, I didn't know that these pages are in there and they can really help me. So that's what I say is number 1, okay? And just, relax and have fun with it. Number 2.
Well, actually, before we get to number 2, it's get to know, have a look at the stuff that we send you when we send the planner. Because that's sort of designed to give you a few tips. You know how you get this black envelope? I write all your names on here. You know how you get this black envelope with these papers in it? This is really helpful. So if you open it, you've got this on the back. This is really helpful because, we actually took time to kind of do mock-up things on here so you can kind of see how you can use certain pages. And we have it's obviously hard to put too much on here, but there's the original planner, the minimal planner, the weekly planner. So this can really be good. This is something that you might even want to keep and keep it somewhere in your planner or out that you can always refer back to. So that's good. And I always thought this could be good for you guys. You could always frame this. That's why last year I think I put hello on it, but this time I thought it might be nice because it might just be something that you want to, it's like a cute photo that you can put on the wall. Okay, so yeah, it's good to look through everything that we give you because there's good information on there. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
next?
Yeah.
No?
Well, before sort of writing in it, we could just go through some of the pages at the very start.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we did say that. So when I was saying get to know, the pages, we're going to talk about the different pages.
Yeah, so before we actually sort of jump into the real, the meat and veg of all of the sort of goal planning and stuff, we just want to have a look at some of the pages that are at the very beginning of the planner. Things that some people just sort of skip past and don't use, but some people find really useful. And we asked in our Rockstars group, as well as in some surveys that we did about 6 months ago.
If you're not part of the Rockstar Facebook group, by the way, it's just helpful because a lot of people post about how they use the planner, and it could be good to see how other people do it.
And we just sort of asked, how do you guys use these pages? And we got some good tips, so we just wanted to run through a few of those with you.
Well, first of all, you have this page again where it can just kind of help you on how to use the rest of the planner. So this is really helpful if you haven't read through this, getting started, how to use the different pages. Okay. And holidays, I'm just going to point this out because this was a recent issue. Someone got upset because their holiday wasn't in here. We apologize and don't mean to offend anybody. We really, tried to put a lot of different types of, cultures and religions and different things in here. So we do not mean to offend anybody. Moving on from that. So there's at a glance. Okay, so this page, I personally, we have notes here about the different things that people use it for. So this is the yearly spread, which we also have in the back for the following year. Now, I personally think this is great because you can see the year as a whole, and you can kind of put basically key events, key things that are happening. I know last year maybe you didn't have so many things, but in a normal year, on here, I would put things like the trips that we're taking, the weddings that we have to go to, like we would do trade shows, so like trade shows, so I can kind of see the year as a whole and kind of the big things that are happening per month. That's what I do personally. But do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, a few people just said they use it. Yeah, key events, birthdays, anniversaries, weddings. Goal deadlines was a good one. So someone said their goal was to run a half marathon, and they'd booked it in, so their half marathon was there where they could see it in the year. And things like even renewing insurance dates, just key things that you didn't want to forget when you looked at your year as a whole. So yeah, just the main things that you want to see when you look at your year on a single spread.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
let's go to the next one. Weekly schedule. Let's show that.
Yeah.
This is actually in our last printable for January. This is what we did. We just basically turned this into a printable. We did it portrait and landscape. We also did it where the days of the week were also on top. And this is really good for basically when I did it, because I used to use this a lot. Like we used to both teach, and when you have kind of like a set schedule of like classes, or like let's say you're a nurse and you have a shift schedule, or any type of person with like shifts or classes or something that kind of is like a routine that happens all the time. Or you could use it as your exercise routine schedule that you set for yourself that you're trying to do like consistently.
Yeah, and some people said they even put for like family members one column for each family member. I mean, they would write down what key things they have on each day, like classes.
So the routine schedules, but per person. So so like let's say you have like you, your spouse, and then your children's names up there, and it's kind of like each person's routine schedule.
Yeah, and some people mention sort of gym classes, sports clubs, bin collection days, even household chores. There's all sorts of stuff that people marked on there. So yeah, just have a think about how that can work for you, because that's something we didn't really mention. But your planner has to work for you, and it can be really flexible in how you use it. The flexibility is in there. You just got to find out how it can help you to sort of manage your life.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is I do try to stress a lot is that I think planners are such a personal thing. Even before I started Hello Day, I used to tell the story of how every year I was obsessed about like going out now, everything, we buy everything online, but in the past when you actually had to go to stores all the time, I would literally just go and I would take probably a month looking around at different ones before I decided which one I wanted. And it was like a joke with my friends because I would take so much time trying to go and find the perfect one for me. And we moved a lot. So like we lived in Japan, we lived in Spain, and I would literally just go shopping around, and I would get some in different languages as well. And you just really need to do sometimes I would buy one too, and I thought, you know what, it's not working for me, and I had to go out and get another one. So it's really personal. And what I tried to do when I create this is do something that I thought, would work for me and would work for others, but also it's kind of open. So you can use the pages differently to what suits you. There's not one way to do it, and that's why it's good to hear from others, and that's why it's good, for example, to be in the Facebook group, because then you can hear from other people what they're doing, and it might give you ideas of like, oh, well, maybe I can do that, but tweak it and do it this way.
Yeah, it's been great to see some people's posts inspiring other people to do similar things, and we'll talk about that a little bit later because there's been some really good suggestions.
Yeah.
Should we move on to 10-minute accomplishments?
Yeah.
So 10-minute accomplishments. This is something that is really popular, and people love it when they actually like really use it and start doing them, because the idea here, wasn't it, was that there are so many small things that you might think of in the back of your mind. You think, I really have to do that, but you just never really do it because it's quite insignificant, or it might be annoying, so you just put them off. And but if you can actually make a list of those, we've got a few suggestions in there,
we try to change these a little bit each year, but really they're just to kind of help you and
just prompts, really.
Yeah.
But if you can put some ideas down there and then fill them in through the days, when you check those off, you actually really achieve a lot by getting through those small annoying things. Like every time you open that drawer and you think, that is so annoyingly full, I really just need to clear that out. that is a really good 10-minute accomplishment that you can do.
Can I just say, how many of you, like me, because this is like such as much as I try to like change this issue about me, I feel like, especially with women, we naturally have this thing where we love a list. And your list might have like 30 things on it, okay? Like, how many of you people are list people? I'm sure there's a lot of you who are list people. So you might have a list of like 30 things. And I mean, if you are a superwoman and you can accomplish all those 30 things on your list every single day, like, you're amazing. That's great. But a lot of us can't. And so I think when I was thinking about 10-minute accomplishments, what it is like a lot of times of all the long lists that you have, not all of those are priorities. So you might have some priorities and some other things that just keep moving from day to day because they're just on the list. So some of those, if you can take them away from your priority list and kind of break them down and put them into your 10-minute accomplishments, like if we go back to that. So like check for the expired food in your cupboards, for example. Now that's not something that has to be a priority, but if that's something that you have down as your 10-minute accomplishment and you can spread them out, like imagine you taking 15 things off your list and putting them into your 10-minute accomplishments. You're gonna get one thing done a day and you're gonna feel like a rock star because you're like, oh my gosh, I did all those things. And so that's the point. It's also to minimize your master list because really you need to take the important things off your list and have them as like your top 3 per day. Sorry, our dog keeps whimpering in the background.
I'll give her something.
Can you give her a treat?
Yeah.
She just keeps crying and it's like all that we hear in our head. Hola, Veronica.
I'll just mention this first and then I'll give her a treat. So before we move into like the goal planning and breaking the ice, which is something that Kirsten's going to talk about. So I want to mention the budget. So that's also a bifold that's at the front of the page. Now obviously this cannot be like a really detailed budget because there is so much that goes into it. But the idea here is that we've got like one for each month, basically, and the idea is that it's a way of just keeping track of your variable expenses, like categories. So for example, like you've got your fixed budget spends, like your mortgage and the things that come out every month, and you know how much they're going to be. But often the way that we work, we do some stuff online now, but the way that we used to sort of manage it was by having categories like food shopping, entertainment, kids' expenses, things that vary each month.
Pretty
but
general,
you can general that you can just drop things into, and then you have how much you plan on spending them each month, and then the reality of how much you spend, and then the difference. So I know it's not very detailed, but for some people they've just found it really useful just to have an overall monthly view of those key variable expense groups and whether you're going over or under each month. And we do plan on doing a more detailed printable.
We have gotten a suggestion to do a more detailed printable for budget if you want.
Yeah, I'll go and take
She keeps
it over.
crying. If you want to give a more to do a more detailed budget printable, that's what we're going to do. But we have several different suggestions of printables, so we only come out with one each month. But at some point we will do the more detailed budget one because I know there's a lot of you who would like to see that. Okay, we are gonna skip this goal planning for just a second because we're gonna come back to that. Yeah. Let's also just go into the middle as well.
227.
Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to. So also in the middle of the planner, we have mid-year thoughts and reflections. This is in between June and July, so it's halfway through the year. So if you didn't know that was there, now you know. So this is really good as well because our aim for you to have this planner is not only to do your everyday, but to kind of set goals at the beginning, which is what we will be talking about, and then kind of like delegate them into each month, each week, and really try to achieve those goals by the end of the year. So halfway point, it's really good to well, actually even every month we do a little reflection as well. But then halfway through the year, you can do another reflection of how it's been going for the first 6 months. And if you haven't achieved everything you wanted to, that's okay too. But it's good to look back and learn, like, what can I do better? What can I improve? Or what's gone really well and I'm really happy with it. So that's in the middle. And then at the end as well, we have the following year, which would be 2022, okay, at a glance. And then we have the same as we have at the beginning, we have the yearly spread. Okay, so again, this is good to kind of write all the different things and notes that you're going to fill into your next planner. So the important dates, like everything that we talked about at the beginning. Well, I mean, again, that's how I would do it. The important dates and things that you want to put here. So when the new planner comes, you can put it into the next planner. Because back in the day when I used to get different planners, I literally used to just use Post-its that I would like put in the back of my planner of different things that I would then transfer into the new one. So I love this because I always wanted it.
And for those people that need to look sort of 2 or 3 years ahead, which obviously people with events and things, I didn't actually. We've got the calendar mini notebooks that we brought out this year because we had a fair few inquiries about those. They're exactly the same size as the mini notebooks, which are just for taking notes, but they have each month of 2021, 2022, 2023. We've got 3 different designs.
Yeah, so this is just a typical mini notebook that has lines inside. But we also have three that look just like this with different covers on them. One is 2021, the other one is 2022, and the other one's 2023. So they're the same size, they're just as small. You can slide them into your planner. So for those of you who are like wedding planners or like photographers or people who have like dates for 1 to 2 or 3 years ahead, you can get those, you can slide them into your planner, you can just pop them in your bag when you go off to your, events, and you can write dates in them. So, so that's something that we actually was a suggestion from customers, and so that's why we created those, and I think that would be really helpful. Okay, so now we are doing, I feel like a child in school. Break the ice. Okay, so break the ice means, so you got your planner, you felt a little bit intimidated, you did the whole introduce yourself, you got to know your planner a little bit. Now you've got to break the ice. How many times everyone's like, I'm too scared to write in it. I am too scared to put a pen into it. It's too beautiful. I can't write in it. Yes, you can. So, because I promise you at the beginning you feel that way, but by the middle of the year, it's super messy. If you're using it correctly, it's super messy. And like, I know I don't know, it's so funny because these envelopes where I write your name on them, like the handwriting isn't that bad, right? Like it looks kind of pretty, but I promise you my handwriting, when I'm like in my planner or just like my everyday writing, it's really messy. It really is. So your planner just becomes messy. I really admire people with like really nice handwriting, that they just like naturally do it every day. Anyway, so when I say break the ice, you need to write in your planner. So number 1, you need to write your name on that first page. Yeah. That's one way that you can break the ice. Number 2, something that's not going to change are people's birthdays. Like their birthdays are not going to change. So what you could do is you can go in and start to fill in the birthdays of all your friends and family members into your planner. So that's another thing you can do. And then other important dates. So if you have weddings or, things that you've put into that yearly spread, you can then, from there you can fill it in to your planner. I tend to get to a page. I do like birthdays where it says birthdays, but if there's like an important day, I actually just tend to write it up here. So if it's like, I don't know, someone's wedding or something like that, I would put it up there. But again, you do your thing. Or you could put it in the birthday section, but I just tend to, that's the way I do it. But other people use the birthdays for either birthdays or important events. Okay, so that's break the ice. Once you start writing in it, you will feel a lot more comfortable. Okay, next. Set goals, okay? So I just realized I've been looking at this camera and that one is like wonky. Oh. Set goals. We have 2 different cameras on because we're trying to record this so that people can see it later. Okay.
So you'll have probably been able to tell by now by looking at the planner that it's big on goals, because we know that a lot of people don't set goals. There's a load of statistics about that, such a small percentage of people that set goals, but we know from experience that when you actually challenge yourself and set goals, that it can amaze you at what you can achieve. And if you know what you're aiming for, this planner can really, really help you to get there. So that's why we sort of designed it in a way that allows you to create your yearly goals at the start. And they don't have to be complete, they can just be ideas, and you don't have to have a full page of goals. But they encourage you to think about what your goals are, break them down into small chunks, and then they feed into your monthly goal planning, your weekly tasks, and then your daily to-dos. So it's designed to work that way, but it can seem a bit overwhelming to actually get there in the first place, which is why we did a blog recently, and also we've sent it out in emails. We've got a few printables that encourage you to think of your bigger picture, to then help you to think, well, what are my goals for this year and what should I put into my planner? And we've been doing that recently as well.
So we're just going to show you how we do it, and again, hopefully that can help you. And this is actually what is in the blog as well, because it's genuinely just how we do it. So I like big paper, especially when I just feel like putting ideas down. So this is what we did. Okay, so what we do is, first, it's all about brainstorming. So pretty much just, we have different topics here, like, oh gosh, you probably can't see it, but we have like travel, business, family, home, Kirsten personal, Dave personal, and finance. And then we go from there and just kind of web it out of like different ideas and things from there. Because sometimes if I were just to tell you, like, set your goals, what are your goals? It's kind of
scary.
It's hard and it's scary, and it's kind of like, well, I don't know, you've got to think about it. But this can really help you. Like, we take, like a Saturday, and we're just like, today is our goal day. And we just sit there and we start to brainstorm. So this is step 1. This is what we do. And then step 2, we take this next decade. Okay, this is the sample one that's on. So
that's a printable on the website.
On the website, so you can get this one. But we actually did it on big paper because I like big paper, so we can just get messy. And we can just literally write down, because with something like this, which I really like, which is basically we'll then put it onto here and then put it in the planner. But I like to just kind of, not feel like it's got to be perfect because it's going on to the one piece of paper that I've printed in my planner. I just want to kind of get messy about it so I can really just like let my ideas flow out. So you go to this. Now we have here the 1 to 2 years, the 5 years, and the 10 years. So this is our like personal thing. This is what me and Dave have done. And then from there,
it's a way of working backwards, basically. So where do you want to be in 10 years? And just have fun with it. Where would you ideally be? And then in order to get there in 10 years, where do you think you should be in 5 years? And then in 1 to 2 years.
And you guys, dream big, honestly. Like,
challenge yourself.
Yeah, challenge yourself. Put down something big that you think would be impossible to happen, because actually it is possible. Like, just put it down.
Yeah.
So then you go to this.
So this is your yearly goal planning spread, which is at the beginning of your planner.
Yeah. And so you go to your 1 to 2 years of the ideas you've written there. From there, you basically transfer that to here. Okay, so you're going to set yourself 4 goals for the year. Sorry, just looking at messages. Then you put it here. So basically, you start to, break it down. So these are your goals. Okay, so let's...
you can have a look at... Yeah. So you don't have to have 4 goals.
It'd be easier if I have an example
That's
for
the thing,
you.
You don't have to have 4 goals. You could have 2. You could have 3. And the idea is you just write down at the top part here, what are the goals, a headline, and then a couple of notes. What are those goals, generally? Because then they're going to feed down into your milestones. And the milestones are big. Imagine that, the example that we give on the big printout is like, imagine one of them is just you want to run a half marathon. And you think, well, that's crazy. I'm nowhere near that. So the goal is to run a half marathon by the end of the year. So then the milestones are, well, where do you need to be at the different points throughout the year in order to make that realistic? So, your first milestone at the end of the first 3 months of the year might just be running around the park three times a week, and it's a 15-minute run. That's your first milestone, which seems realistic by the end of 3 months. And then your second milestone, 6 months in the year, that might be doing a park run, or doing half of a park run. And the idea is that your milestones, you just work towards your main goal. And they can just be realistic steps on your way to that goal. And then once you've got those milestones that seem achievable, then you actually break them down. Well, in order to get to that milestone, what should be my goal for each month? And you've got a 12-month breakdown for each of those 4 goals that you might have. And then before you know it, your goal that might seem a little bit scary, you've actually got a 12-step plan to get there. And then that's when these then transfer into your actual monthly goal planning pages.
Then it goes into your monthly goals and your weekly tasks. Another example, because we've done ours, so I'm just looking at ours. So for example, one of ours is investment. So we're wanting to learn more about investment. So that's one of our goals. Okay. Another one we have is home improvement, because as you may know, we have actually moved into an office just a block away from here, which is nice because Hello Day literally took up every room of our house. And now with our house, we're like, oh, a lot of it's empty. And we're like, okay, we can finally put some love into our house. So one of ours is home improvement. So let's just look at home improvement. For example, we've got home improvement written here on the line. And then we've got basement, bedrooms, entrance, downstairs, top floor. Okay. Then when it goes to milestones, okay, January to March is basement and top floor and entrance. Just because with those, we actually just want to do the flooring and we kind of already know what we want to do with that. But we want to get that done between January to March. April to June is bedrooms. Okay, because to say that everything's going to get done at one time, it's just kind of, well, it's not possible for us. We can't afford to do that. And we'll be doing a lot of it ourselves as well. And we'll get people to help us. So we've put bedrooms in April to June. July to September, we've put downstairs. And then October to December, we've put the kitchen floor. Because maybe by that time, if we've gotten the other things down, we might be doing the kitchen floor. Okay, so then we've broken them down. Then we've broken them down here.
Month by month.
Okay, so we're at goal 3. This is where our home improvement is.
Yeah, so my February goal is to rent a skip on wheels, which I found online the other day, so that we can actually clear out our basement, because we really do need to organise it after years of it sort of running stuff up and down the stairs for Hello Day and keeping stuff on shelves, and we just need to have a good clear out. So that's my only goal for February, just to clear out the basement.
Oh, Jackie says mine is to wrap up house projects in preparation to sell the house. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So yeah, similar to us is doing house projects. so when it comes, he has like skip on wheels for March, it's the top floor, April, it's entrance. So, just like different things, basically breaking it down. So to just say like, we've got to do everything in the house, that's like a very big statement. And so you've got to break these things down, or else they're intimidating and they're scary. And
they're easier to ignore.
Yeah. But they are easier to achieve if you break them down.
Yeah.
So that's what those 2 pages are all about. They're really to help you to break down your big goals into like little objectives.
And then this method just really helped us when preparing to set up Hello Day as well, didn't it?
I mean, in general, we basically talk about, what we want to achieve, and we just like sit at our dining room table together and we start with the brainstorming, start to put things together, start to narrow things down, and it really does help, I promise you. Okay, so from your goal planning, the reason why we wanted to spend time on that is because from your goal planning, then you can go into your monthly and your weekly. Does that do that? Yeah, I have breakdowns too with daily tasks to remind me what needs to be done. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So Jackie's done exactly, what the whole point of it is basically it's something that you need to do, and then you just break it down. So then you give yourself those tasks every week, every day, you check them off, and then magically they get done. So, okay, let's go to January month then, okay? So now you know your goals for the year, and then into your different months and into your milestones, because some things are broken down like January to March. So then you can transfer those things onto your monthly goal page. So you've got your monthly goals and budget. This is kind of open again because everybody does it differently. This food and exercise and less of, more of, these are just things that you can, it doesn't have to refer back to your goal planning, or it can. It's up to you. But, you might say like something that we've, I know this is looking at January, but something that we're actually telling ourselves for February. Some of you have been around with Hello Day for a while. You know that we work like dogs in the winter. So our February is pretty much our January. So it's finally starting to slow down for us. And in February, we're like, everything's happening in February. In February, we're going to try to watch a lot less TV, less alcohol.
Go to bed earlier.
Go to bed early, because in January, we work so hard and we're just so tired. January is just as busy as December for us, and it's just like a lot. And I just want to get home, sit on the sofa and watch something, and then, have a glass of wine. But in February, we're going to do a lot less of all of that. So that would be there. Anyway, you've got your goals. Now you have this goals per week. You can break it down here, and then you can take these and then you can take them into your week.
Yeah, so if you take one of your goals for the month, you think, in order to get there by the end of the month, what do I need to achieve each week? And it's just step by step. So then once you've got those, you then move to your weekly page.
Now you have your weekly page, and you have here this week's goal. So you can write your goal up there at the top. Now, again, I also don't want any of this to scare you. Like, if you don't have a weekly goal, like, don't worry about it. Don't fill that part out. If you're just here to kind of like put all your dates in, and you're a mom and you've got you've got kids, you've got their schedules, and that's fine too. Like, this doesn't have to be, like setting those big goals and running a marathon or setting up a business, or like, it's your life, your planner. You do it what works well for you. So you've got your goal there. This goal might be a goal, or it might just be like a task, it might be like a simple task. It is whatever you want it to be. Back to lists. This is why I created, our weekly page did not used to have this. But now I've added that, because what I found is that you're writing a long list and you're like rewriting it per day if you use the daily planner. So this is good because you can kind of put everything here and then delegate them throughout the days so that you're not rewriting them.
Yeah, so basically by writing your weekly tasks, what I found this really useful when I started using the planner, is that I know on Monday and I have all my main tasks that I want to achieve that week, and I can sort of guess which day I'm going to do them, but I might not get around to actually doing it that day, so I only write one of those main tasks from the weekly page in the day at the beginning of that day. Then we're going to do it, because like Kirsten said, that means I'm not rewriting the same things over and over again.
Okay, so let's talk about a day page. Okay, so, well, now we've gone to the last point, everyday use. Okay, so you've gone in from your setting your goals, you've filled it into, when you've got your goal planning page at the beginning, you can, again, it's up to you, you can either go in and take those goals that you've set for yourself per month and fill them in January to December into all your monthly goal planning, or you can wait, you can just do January, or maybe like the first 3 months, and also if you're going to do like the whole year and just go write them all in, it might be something that you want to do in pencil, so just in case you have to edit it, you can just go in and erase it. Veronica, my goal is to drink more water this week and less wine. That's ours too, well, starting February. But although, no, saying that, this week we have been drinking less. We've been just drinking more water.
Yeah.
And less alcohol. Okay, so daily. So daily use. You've got your monthly goals in there. Now you're on your day, right? So you've filled in your week. One thing that we highly suggest is Sunday or Monday planning. Basically, choose one of those days, like Monday morning or sometime on Sunday, where you can look at the week ahead. It's really good if you can just kind of like clear your mind and see the week as a whole so that you're ready to take on the week. So I prefer a Sunday. Let's say it's Sunday or Monday morning. So let's say it's a Sunday. You're going to go in and fill in anything here for your week. You're going to refer back to your monthly goal planning page here in January. Wait, where am I now? And what I would do would be from your weekly page, I would take this list and I would start to delegate and go and put them into your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so you could start to write things every day that you need to do, or that you want to do, that you've set for yourself. You want your top to-dos. Your birthdays would already be written in here, hopefully, that that you've already filled in for the year. And I am focused on, this is basically, so I did that so that basically you're like, what are you focused on this week? Because it's something that you can, you can kind of set for yourself each week, something different to focus on. Maybe this week is your budget. That's something that you're really focusing on this week. So that's what you would write there so that you're reminded to do that, to focus on it every day that week. If you've got the original planner, you've got your water intake, exercise, pray, meditate, this week's goal. This week's goal, that's just to remind you every day, like, are you remembering about your weekly goal? Because you probably only wrote it on the weekly page, so this is just to remind you. Your 10-minute accomplishments, we actually haven't mentioned that. Well, I mean, we did, but we didn't mention that when you're writing a bunch of the ideas at the beginning, you can either fill them out per week, you can fill them out each month into your daily pages. Again, it's up to you. But you probably already have it written here, and then you need to check it off. What I like to do is basically on the Sunday, I go and think about the different things that I'm going to do that week. So I don't fill them in way ahead of time. I do them per week. So I would have filled this in on Sunday, and then on Monday I check off after doing it. So here you've just got your list of things to do, your top 3, and then here's your schedule. And then down here, there's a lot of different things that people use this area for. I don't tend to be such like a meal planner myself, but sometimes if I do have a plan of what we're doing for dinner, I write it there. And also what I use this area for is, unfortunately, Dave and I work a lot in the evenings. So pretty much I put like my PM list of the things that we're going to focus on that evening. That's what I put down there. Did we have like a list of what different people said they used for it?
Yeah, I've got them a little bit further on.
Okay.
Down here. Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. That's the daily use. Okay. And one thing to always remember is to go back to your monthly goal planning page, because down here you have your reflection area. So here you have your, do you know what? Hold on. And then also what I do on the very last day of the month. So on Sunday, January 31st, I remind you that January end of month reflection. So to go back to the monthly page and do your reflection. So down here, we're not always like, how do you say it in England? Like on form, right?
Yeah.
You're not always like on form all the time. You know, we need to relax. We need time to just think. But and why I'm saying that is, not every month goes to plan, not every day goes to plan, but that's okay. And that's why the whole point of Hello Day is like every day is a new start. It's a fresh beginning. It's a new page, because it is physically a new page. So you can go back to your end of month reflection. You can talk about your successes and what you've learned, maybe things that didn't go so well. But yeah, it's good to do that. So then that, usually when you're doing like your middle of the year reflection, it's sometimes good to go back and look at your monthly reflections to help remind you of what happened 3 months earlier. So
yeah, but also something that you always encourage people to do as well is it either at the end of each day or the beginning of the next day, or both if you've got the time. Just take some time on your own just to look at your planner page for that day. Have a look what you've done, reflect back on it, carry anything over to the next day if you need to, and just kind of have a bit of time each day at the beginning or at the end or both, where you just spend a bit of time reflecting on the day and then think about moving over to the next day.
Okay.
So some things to just consider is that the main thing is make sure that you use your planner every day. I mean, it sounds quite straightforward, but that really is the key, because if your planner becomes an integral part of your day and just you use it every day, you rely on it, you put your goals, you put your dreams, you put your thoughts into it, then if you use it every day and you use it in the way that works for you, it will lead you towards, achieving what it is that you want to achieve. But don't let it stress you out. Like if you don't feel, like Kirsten said, that you have all of those big goals, it doesn't matter. And if you can't think of what all of those big goals are at the start of the year, don't worry about it either. Just don't let it stress you out. Try and make your planner something that you enjoy and like spending time with. Yeah. I mean, you said that when you look back on your past planners, it's always a big reflection on sort of where you were at that time.
Yeah. Just yesterday we were, I got out some of my old stuff from, I was looking at one from 2016, and this is when we were starting Hello Day, but the first planner for Hello Day was 2017. But I was looking at some things I wrote in 2016, and I thought, I was like, wow, Dave, this is so strange, because it seems like a different person, because your goals and everything change throughout the years, and the things that I was thinking and focused on, and I thought I was dreaming so small back then, and because I think, I have shared this before, but it was really difficult for us when we moved to the UK, and I was, we went through a difficult time. So because of that, I was feeling small, when you're feeling insecure and small, you're not able to dream so big. And when I was reading through those things, I thought, wow, I've come a long way, now I'm like, how big can I dream? How many big things, do I want for us? And we can do those, we can achieve them. So it's nice to keep these things and look back on them. And it makes you
looking at the vision board as well.
I was going to say as well, we actually haven't done our vision board yet for this year because, again, like I said, our February is kind of like our January. But this was our vision board. This was my vision board for 2020, and it's really nice because there's a lot of things on here that we've achieved, so that feels really good. So going back to when you're doing all of your planning is a good time as well. I mean, we need a separate day because basically my idea is just run and run and run. But this kind of took us a whole day, this and our brainstorming and chatting and talking about it. But doing your vision board is like a whole other day as well in itself. So using all the things that you've wanted for yourself written down and creating a vision board. Okay. Is that where?
So yeah, I mean, we can talk about some of the accessories that people might find useful.
Yeah. So another thing that we just wanted to talk about was the different accessories. So for bookmarks, we've got the paper clips that you can use as bookmarks. We've got the black and white bookmark, the small ones like this. And then we've also got the big one like that, which is where you can write different. The whole point of this is that you can put your sticky notes on here and you can write your notes on here. There's some good pictures in our Facebook group of some customers and pictures of their planners and the things that they put on here as well with their big bookmark. And I know that Angel in there, she put like it was like a daily affirmation card on here every day, which was really nice.
If you're watching, Angel, thank you. That was really inspiring for a lot of people who saw that and replicated what you did.
She just kind of clipped it in with a paper clip onto the big bookmark.
And then someone took that and actually thought and did it for themselves, where they put a meal plan or a recipe clipped onto that, so something that they know that day that's what they're going to do and they don't need to think about it. So however works for you.
What I tend to do is use this as my I put this on the day that is, but yeah, so if some of you maybe this changes every day to like what you're having for dinner that night and the ingredients that you need or what you have to prep for it, just basically the whole point is that you can use these for extra information per day. That's why I wanted to do that. Okay, let's see, what were some other things so we asked in our group some other things, some tips that they have. So we're just going to read some out to you. So I'm just going to read some,
and then you can do some of your general tips that people might find useful.
Yeah.
So as Hayley McDonnell really said that for her the key is writing in coloured pens. So she'll have different colours for
I love color coding too. So if you got your color coding pens, and it's okay to be a nerd. We actually had our girls with us last week, and they were saying, we were talking about the whole thing about being a nerd. Well, I think when you're a child, it's like, you don't want to be the nerd, but when you're an adult, you realize it's okay to be a nerd because nerds get far. So it's okay to be a nerd and have all your colors. And if you want to color code your heart out in your planner, that's okay. I mean, I do that, and I actually do that on a big calendar that we have as well. So it's okay.
So if you don't really know what we mean by that, you might have a certain color for your work tasks, for your self-care tasks, for exercise, whatever works for you, and so you can not feel so overwhelmed because not everything is just a single color. You can see what the breakdown is. Caroline said that she uses the monthly notes page.
Caroline's on here actually.
Caroline, yeah, uses the monthly notes page to list expenses due to come out that month, and then sort of crosses them out when they come out. So that was really useful.
And what she means by monthly note page is this one. So the one next to the monthly goal planning page, it's this one, which is kind of like just there to use as whatever you want. And she uses to list her expenses.
And also the bottom of that page, and uses the bottom of the daily page, like you said, to track food. So I think that's quite a popular one for people to do, actually.
Yeah, she tracks her food down here.
And then Adele says she also does the same thing. She marks the bills that are coming out at the start of the month. And And also Adele, we do plan on doing a more detailed printable as well.
Yeah, Adele, thank you. She's the one who suggested that we do a more detailed budget.
Joe Diggle, I think you're on here as well. We noticed that it was great that you said that although you were just getting started, you'd written on every Sunday, you'd written in in pink, time with my planner, which is great because that is really key. Like Kirsten said, she will sit down on a Sunday night and she'll have some time with the planner and she'll plan out the week. So that is a really good start, just giving you that real bright standout on a Sunday.
So just to show you what she means by that. Oh. So on her Sunday, one of the things that she will set as a task for herself is to spend time with planner. Because if you don't write it down, you might look at it and forget that actually that's what you wanted to do. So that's really good.
Yeah. And this was a really good one as well. Lucy Cheetham said that she, on her monthly spread, Lucy, you said on a monthly spread, she'll track her workouts, but then on the notes section on the right, every month, she will log her weight and her measurements. So if that's something that you're really into.
So here's a monthly spread, and you're saying that on this part.
Yeah, exactly. She'd write down or log her measurements and her weight for that month.
Yeah, so if you're like really into your fitness, this is where she like per week she'll like keep track of her weight and everything. Yeah,
so those were just a few that we pulled out. Just some really nice tips that people took the time to write. So sorry, Kim uses her weekly view to plan her workouts and her new habits, and also uses the mini notebooks.
So weekly. So this is the weekly spread. She uses the weekly for
basically logging her workouts and any new habits that she wants to start fixing into her life.
Yeah.
And then also she'll always use a mini notebook alongside her planner every day for logging time for certain clients for her projects. Was what I understood from it. So obviously we know that there's not enough space for you to write all of the stuff into your planners, and some people say they would really love more blank pages at the back, but the problem is that after we put in the weekly views, we can't really make
the
them
only issue about these planners is like we can't keep adding pages because it would be too thick to close. So that's why we also did things like these mini notebooks where you can write other things in here, and then you can, take them out in a way and put them in your bag and stuff. And they fit into the pockets of the planner. Okay. All right. I'm just going to do some general tips. So one thing that I get asked a lot in the past 5 years is writing on the left page, and also if you're a left-handed person. So first I'm going to just refer to right-handed people. I'm a right-handed person. You might find that when you're writing on the right side, like when you're writing on this page, it's okay. But when you want to write on this page and your planner is open, your spiral is in your way. So the trick is do that and write this way. And it doesn't happen.
It levels out.
So it's so much easier. All you have to do is close it, and then you can open it again. So yeah, just do that, put it down and write that way, and the spiral will not be in your way. So it's much better. And if you're left-handed, same thing. So if you're left-handed, it's easy to write on this page, but then you just have to close it in order to write on this page.
Yeah. The coil?
Oh, yeah, how we need to show that. And the spiral, the planner clips. Okay, one moment.
I did bring some extra ones as well in the bag if you need them.
Okay, so how to use the clips. So when you have your printout, what I tend to do, if you do order it, if you actually pay to have the card sent to you rather than printing it yourself, when I fold them, I fold them they don't flush. So you see like a little bit, you have like a little bit of an overlap.
Yeah, it's not quite corner to corner.
So, this is kind of hard to show. If you hold it up and then I'll...
Yeah, okay. Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so these are our notes for this live. But anyway, so like I was saying, I don't fold it completely flush. I like leave this one a little bit bigger. All right, so also I don't put the clips on here. I put it between here. So I put the paper down where it's gonna go, kind of up against the coil. And then, oh wait, sorry, I'm getting confused because I'm upside down. If you can see me. I tuck in the clip and then I put it onto the paper like that. I make sure it's tight. So you put the clips on while you have your paper set in place. It's really helpful. But again, I push the paper up against to the spiral. I tuck it in to the second one, not the last one. Tuck it in, put it down, and then put it onto the paper. Now you can take it out. And I just really make sure I press down and I just really make sure that they're stuck on there. Okay, so now your paper should look like that. So the tooth is facing down and then it's facing up here. And then you just clip them in. Like that. But the tighter you make them, the least they'll like fall out. Okay? And then the other thing was the tightening the spiral. How are we gonna do that?
Good question.
Get a bunch of those boxes and we'll put it on top.
We can also, if anybody ever needs
this is the last thing to show really, so if you're not, but this is really important. This is really important to know. Don't know if one more, that black one in that bag. I hope you can see this. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to, because as much as like, basically these will often like, especially if you use the planner a lot, it's always good to keep these tight throughout the year so that it's, you know, all together and you don't want anything falling out. So to tighten it, you need to, let's say it's open, right? You need to open it so that the back is by itself. Okay, so the front and everything is together and you're gonna lie it flat. The back is by itself. Okay?
Do we need to angle this one down a little bit on this corner? Like that. Can everybody see it?
Can you guys, I hope you guys can see this. Because we can see it on the one we're recording, but it's this,
I think we can see
I think you can see it.
Yeah.
All right. Where the coil meets, you see this? You need to get this towards the paper. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna twist this around. So you want it like that. Where the coil meets, you want it flush to the paper. We're gonna have to do this again on a different type of video where we can really see down.
Mm-hmm.
We open and close these all the time. When you get your planner personalized, I have to open them and close them back up. So I'm just gonna open it just because it's tight right now, just so I can show you. Just gonna open those 4. Okay, so sometimes overuse, you notice that it might become a little bit loose. Not that loose, but a little bit loose. now what you have to do is you have to, it's really hard to show you. This part should be like that, and you want to hold it down while you push these in. Okay, so you want to hold this down, and you want to push, I have to move over. You want to push this down inside into the hole. This is what happens every time you get your planner personalized. It's a lot easier when you're working on a hard surface. I'm doing these on like boxes that don't have anything in them. Okay, now it's back together. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, so you know what, I think we're gonna have to, I know that some of you are saying you can see it, but I think we should actually do an overhead video. Okay. We do have an overhead video that we send to people when they specifically just ask us. We email it to them. So if you do want that video, we can email it to you, but I think we actually need to maybe put a video like this on YouTube or something on how to do it.
We can do that.
So anyway, it's good to keep it tight, so it's good to know how to do it correctly. So we will create that video. But again, we do have one. So if you do want that video, just ask us and we'll email it over to you. Okay. Well, it's been just over an hour, so I think that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any specific questions? Hello, left-handers. Oh, we have to move it back up.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Does anyone have any specific questions that
Oh, press cancel. Press cancel. Okay.
That maybe we didn't answer, or anything? Any chance of
leaving us hanging?
Did we go through everything that we were going to go through?
Yeah, I think so. General tips.
Maybe. I can find out, Lucy. Yeah, I can look into that actually. I can see if we can get that made. She's asking for the brass pen, if we can do a roller ball insert for the pen. So, yeah, I can see if we can get that made or not. And we do want to bring out more pens. I guess I'm just really picky. I've seen different things and I'm like, I just need to make decisions. But every time we come out with a new product, we have to just kind of know like that things are going to sell as well. I think pens and pencils will sell. I'd like to do a mechanical pencil too, but I just have to find, you know, I have to decide on the right design and things like that. Thank you, Caroline.
Thank you. I just hope everyone found it useful, because like we said, there's so much that we could talk about, that we just tried to cover the main things really. There's been some really, really great vision boards, by the way, in the Rockstar group. That's been amazing to see.
Yeah, so vision boards is a whole other video as well. The tightening tip. Yeah, we have to do another video on that. I feel like I'm not showing you it well enough. A pencil sharpener. That's what I said.
Kirsten's
I want a really good pencil sharpener because we have two bad ones. So I want like a really good pencil sharpener. Easy Triton is left-hander. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Joe. Mechanical pencil. Yeah, I want a mechanical pencil myself. Also, it's going to show you some other printables if you didn't know. You guys, there's like 15 free printables on the website. So there's a monthly to-do list, personal and work. There's daily gratitude, monthly exercise plan. So all these things are free on the website. So just go get them and print them out. Or you can pay £2 for us to print it on like a card and send it to you in the UK.
Someone said, I saw in the group Post-it notes with habit tracker on them. I don't think that was something of ours, actually.
No.
Emma, I think that was Angel's. It was just something that she'd used by herself, but it was a good idea. Something maybe we can think about.
Word of the month as well.
Goal planning was explained great. Good.
Thank you so much for talking through the planner. Feel more confident now. Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Samita. I agree, would love a mechanical pencil. Yeah, thank you, Louise. Well, thank you to everybody. I think that's pretty much it. If there's anything that we didn't answer, please email us, let us know, ask us questions. Like, always just come and say hi on Instagram or Facebook. Or email us. Dave's actually the one on the email side right now. So, but also if you have like customer service issues, it's probably easier if you email rather than sending a message on Instagram, because I get really overwhelmed with messages on Instagram. So anything customer service wise, it's best to email. But yeah, that's it. We love hearing from you. We want your feedback all the time. Or if you want to tell us how you're using your planner differently, we'd love to hear that, because we really need to share more with others. So, okay.
Yeah, and if, like Kirsten said, if you're not in the Rockstars group, just send a request to join it. Hello Day Rockstars, because everyone in there is really helpful as well with any questions and suggestions.
And now that everything's slowed down for us, I'm gonna get more active in there too. So we basically feel like our winter's like, whew, and then we can now finally come back to earth. Now that February is coming. So, all right, thank you guys so much, and we really, 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 really appreciate you, like, a lot. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. I'm about to turn this one off.
Turn that one off.